So, can you tell us a little bit more about your vision and Sounds of Oneness?
Yes, Sounds of Oneness is a vision that I had since I was a little child, since I can recall. This vision, of course, through the years has been becoming more and more, in its simplicity, it become more and more complex. But it holds the same intent. It's an uncorruptible, pure, innocent intent. The intent is to create an energy field, a musical sound energy field that has the ability to support the process of remembering through the emotional release of humans. So at this point the body of work is being created, the melody are created, the music is created. At this point it is time to commune with other resonating elements, of course musicians, but also expert in sound from a scientific point of view. Because my work is mostly female, I work on the emotion of music, the ability of creating emotions. Science with have a little more male energy, and so they can bring a great contribution to music by their mental approach, where they figure out music and look at music as frequencies, as megahertz. And so at this point the game is to manage to attract a group of people in a comfortable space where we have access to music instruments and sound system and whatever is needed, and then we spend a good quality time together to create this journey, this Sounds of Oneness journey, which probably will involve several musicians. I already can see quite an ensemble of musicians, both classical and non-classical musicians, with instruments that there will be a blending of instruments from acoustic instrument to digital electronic instruments and to also ethnical instrument. It will be a blending of analog and digital, because the analog is the earth connection, and the digital is more has this essence of stars, or so blending both together will create a good infusion. And again, with the support of scientists or physicians, or people that are expert in sounds as vibration, as megahertz, as frequencies. And so we will generate a program, probably a 2 hours or 2 hours and a half musical experience, which then will need to be recorded. And then from there we will start to propose concerts with the goal to do a world tour concert in a way to keep feeding humanity globally with high vibration organic music. Of course, music will be able also to listen through the computer, through videos and through CDs and all that. However, the best result is when music is live, because with live music, music is really at its best frequencies. It doesn't find any compression, any limited device that compress the music, like MP3s or tiny little headphones and stuff like that. It's very nice to have that technology available because it's important, but for the purpose of the grandiose purpose of music, we need to listen to music live. So right now we are extending a call to all the people that are in resonance with what I'm sharing right now, so that we can invest quality time together and put together all our knowledge and also our intuition and imagination in order to produce, to finalize, to bring to crystallize the last part of this manifestation that I've been working basically all my life. I don't think at this point it will take more than a few weeks with really good musicians and good musical experts. It's mostly the process is the approach that will be needed is an approach of allowing, fully embracing the mystery. So the approach is zero expectations, just be playful and just play the music and start to move the energy. Because in most of the situation, humans have this attitude that says, okay, I have to have everything together before I take action. And in this case and many other cases where the journey is very unknown, this approach is not really a good idea. It's a good idea to start moving the energy, and in that energy, when energy moves and we keep our heart open, we can connect with life. And then we can gather the information to continue the process and to arrive at the end of the destination, which will most likely be completely unexpected. So that's the process that we just have to have a full trust on our imagination and heart. So I hear Marco talking about sounds of music. I am a guitar player. I am a person who works with sound healing, and I feel a strong resonance. I don't allow my mind to block by saying, oh, how can we do it? We cannot do this, it's too difficult, so this, is that. I just trust this resonance and I start to move the energy by taking action, meaning to participate to the gathering and see where that will take me. That's our approach. Rather than the typical music production where everything is set, you come here from this hour and this hour, you get paid this money, you play the music, you leave, and it's done, and now we record. It's much more loose and much more. This element that come into this project needs to be out of the matrix. They need to think out of the box. They need to fully embrace the innocence of when they were children, when they were doing things not because they had an expectation or a need or a survival mechanism. They just do something because they just love it and they just want to completely surrender to that, and they know and they trust that everything will be fine. So that it would be the ideal attitude of the gathering of people towards the manifestation of this project. In that way, we won't have any resistance, any mental resistance, and we will have a very powerful co-creator, which will be life itself, existence itself, which is music. Life and music is the same thing to me. I don't differentiate the two things. Source is a vibrational, pulsing entity, and therefore is sound. and by being completely open, we will be able to tap into those sounds, those high dimensional sounds, and bring them into this 3D, into the concert. And then whenever the concert will be taking place, people will be transformed. Will be trigger to release whatever doesn't belong to them anymore, so that they can connect to Source and fully remember who they are. And that's the beginning of the end for the Matrix.
Yeah, you called it also a heart-opening journey, right?
Yes, it's a heart-opening journey, absolutely.
Yeah.
The heart has to be open. For humans to continue this journey, the heart has to be open. If it's not, it's going to be unbearable. It's going to be a tremendous amount of suffering and a tremendous amount of challenges and drama and diseases. And music has the ability to open the heart in a second, if it's conceived and executed from a pure heart. So I need my heart to be open to open yours, right? Otherwise, it won't happen. So the musician will need, and everybody else will need to step out from the box, step out from the music industry, step out from the mainstream way to do music, and just let it be, whatever it needs to be. And in my case, the melodies are already there. I have quite an extensive library of melodies, which have been all conceived from that pure open heart, and therefore they have already that high vibration, and now they need to be supported by the right dynamics and the right performance. And so that's the next step for Sounds of Oneness, and I hope to crystallize this final step in a relatively short time, because the time now, it's really we need to act now, because that's the time where music is most needed. This is the time where music is most needed in all our human journey. Now music is needed more than ever, and we do not have music. There is not much music out there. There is, but the one that is very scattered, and you cannot see it, you cannot find it, because it's overwhelmingly intoxicated by the mainstream music, which has been completely, is dead music. It's not music, it's not live music. The music of the mainstream is dead. It doesn't give you anything. Yeah, it gives you entertainment. So entertain your mind for a little bit, and then you go back to your miserable life. It doesn't do much, particularly the music of the last 10 years, 10, 15 years. Before there was some fantastic music, but the last 10, 15 years, I'm talking about the mainstream, of course.
Yeah.
There is nothing there that, it's all loops and voices that have been manipulated in order to be in tune, and it's a very male energy, which is very strange, because music is a female energy, totally. So that's what I want to share regarding my vision, and now I'm going to expose this information, and I have no expectations, but whenever the time comes, and hopefully some people will start to respond to this, and they will want to jump into the unknown, and see what happens.
Yeah, beautiful. What has been your greatest inspiration when you were creating music?
Life itself. More than an inspiration was a longing that made me, that makes me approach music, the creation, the creative, the mysterious creativity, creation of melodies. It's a longing more than inspiration. It's a longing for that sense of oneness that I seem to be able to find when music is playing. It's a longing that I had within myself since day one, since I first came here. And you probably can hear it in my music.
Is it a kind of emotions that you felt when you were creating music?
Oh, I felt, I always end up feeling love. Most of the time, at the end of this passage of creative melody that come through, I end up in tears. Not always, but quite often. And yeah, the artist creates first for himself, for his own healing. So I go to the music to heal myself subconsciously. And that's what artists do, and that's what we all do. When we follow our joy, our imagination, we are basically tapping into the best way to heal ourselves. And the word heal is a little bit tricky. I would say more remembering who we are more than healing, because healing, it sounds like something is wrong with us, and there is nothing wrong with us. We just have to remember what we already are. And bring it into this dense format. The fascinating job that we want to achieve here, subconsciously or consciously sometimes, is this incredible idea of bringing high-dimensional manifestation into a 3D world, which I think has never been done before, or maybe it is, I'm not sure, but I sense that it's something that is new. And achieving that will have an effect on everything that exists, not just on us, not even just to our in our solar system, in everything, in the multi-universe, everything will feel the tremendous benefit of this achievement. And in my perception, music is one of the greatest chances we have to get there.